Hi, folks. Welcome to another episode here at Move Up Studios. Today, I've got joining me researcher Alta Van Zyl. Alta, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alta here works at BioPharming Research Unit, and she has a PhD in molecular and cell biology. So, if there's anyone to talk to about vaccines, it's definitely Alta.
I hope so.
Thanks for joining us today, Alta. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Cool. So now, before we get started, Alta, tell us a little about more about the sciences behind what you do. Tell us more about what you do in the laboratory and what you get up to behind the doors.
Well, I'm in a biofarming research unit, and we are farming with a pH, not with an F. And basically, we try to produce pharmaceutically relevant proteins in plants. So these are proteins that can either be used as vaccine candidates and also as diagnostic reagents for both animals and humans. And in short, we use living plants, in this case, a distant cousin of tobacco, and we use them as little bioreactors to produce our proteins of interest.
Sure, that's very interesting to hear, Alta. Sure. And so it's great to hear that in the background we've got a team in South Africa that deals with solving these sort of challenges that humans have. But when South Africa first got told about our government uh, making plans to get vaccines, my wife and I are guilty of misunderstanding the concept of the vaccines, and with social media today and the amount of misinformation that's out on the web, we automatically defaulted to hearing the stories about how vaccines need 2 years of testing before they can actually be considered, or their effects can properly be documented in terms of its effectiveness. So
Mhm.
for us, what we saw is that government within the first year now have come up with this vaccine that they were going to invest into as a solution. But we weren't necessarily sure about that vaccine actually going to be generating the results or having a positive effect.
Mhm.
Um, but since meeting with you and chatting with you, you've helped me see a different perspective. But share with our viewers, if you can, why is it that they've been possible to generate a vaccine within quicker than without that 2 year testing period?
Okay, so under normal circumstances, a vaccine, it takes long to get onto market, and this is from research to getting all of this paperwork and approval done. But during this pandemic, most countries have put really mega bucks into the development of vaccines for COVID, and whereas in normal circumstances the approval processes have taken so long, it's been cut down. This has been fast tracked because of the pandemic, and as you'll see, a lot of vaccines are getting emergency use approval. So it's because it's out of the norm to get approval so quickly. So the paperwork is going faster. It's not the science that's being skimped on. The science is solid. The data is there.
Okay.
It's the bureaucracy that's actually going quicker.
Okay. Sure. Sure. That's great to hear. And so because the bureaucracy is moving faster, we can get the approvals quicker, and therefore they can come out quicker.
Mhm.
Um, so does this mean that like newer technologies um, will help us also generate the a solution quicker? Is our technology, the way we're testing, is that also being improved upon?
I think things are being tested in the same way still, but
Okay.
I think we're learning a lot about the development around COVID vaccines and the rollout thereof that could very well be implemented for other problems, other viruses that spike up. If you think about the Ebola virus in the Congo, things like that, you can react rapidly.
Yeah. Yeah. And so now here's the real test, Alta. Knowing what you do about viruses, and the science behind it, and the theory of how they can help fix, or prevent the implications that viruses have, would you put your close relatives and your family members on vaccines? Would you insist that they take vaccines, knowing what you know? Would you recommend your loved ones do so?
Yes, short of, I have a almost 4-year-old, and I have thrown the entire vaccination book at him. Whether it's right, if there's a vaccine, he's got it. And then on a COVID-related front, I've like my yes, I need my family must be vaccinated, and I'm really pleased to say that most of them have received either the Johnson and Johnson or Pfizer vaccines, and that's great. It gives me some sense of comfort in that they are protected at some sort of a level against COVID-19.
Yeah, yeah, good to hear. Now, Alta, here's a different question though. Obviously, the next level of concerns that people have about vaccines is that of the side effects that it might generate.
Mm-hmm.
From your side, you know, is there a threat that people have a fear about? Is it a justified threat? Should people fear about the side effects of vaccines?
You know, so the Johnson and Johnson, for example, the trial was halted for a bit because 6 people in however many million had a severe side effect, and that was being really cautious. And I think any medication you take at the end of the day will have a side effect, but for vaccines, it shows that your immune system is working. A little bit of a sore arm, a little bit of a headache, depending on what you've been vaccinated with. That is your body doing what this thing you injected it with is instructing it to do. And this is your immune system gearing up and being like, listen, we're making these little soldiers now. We're going to fight this thing. And the next level of defense is remembering this thing. So when you actually see the real virus, it's like, hello, I know you. I'm going to get you. So the side effects to me are a symptom of the vaccine doing its job, in my
Okay.
opinion.
No,
Yes.
it's good to hear. It's good to hear. So even if you do, have after symptom experiences, it's only natural and it's part of the process. But also the science behind the vaccines, what you're saying is there isn't room need for concern that it could have a negative impact or detrimental impact.
I don't think so. With some of the vaccines that we are seeing, that are being approved, some of the technologies have been used in the Ebola outbreak safely to protect people. With another vaccine that we'll have available in South Africa soon, similar vaccines or that are made using similar technologies, the polio, hepatitis A, flu vaccines. So the technology has been proven for other things, and it's working. The science is sound. So I have confidence that these vaccines are okay to use, and that the side effects are normal indication of them doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. And I mean, we've witnessed here in South Africa, we've obviously witnessed how the US and the UK have had much more effectiveness in getting those vaccines out to their population. And interestingly, looking at the infectious rates of comparing South African mortality rates to that of the United Kingdom, they're possibly 97% better than our current rates at the moment,
Mm.
thanks to the masses being vaccinated. So that again proves that these vaccines are working, and that the science is working. Wouldn't you agree?
I do. I think you can still get infected after being vaccinated. You can still get COVID, which is why we still have to wear our masks, wash our hands, do all of that. But in all likelihood, these vaccines, being vaccinated, having that internal line of defense, it's preventing serious illness and preventing hospitalization. You don't want to end up either on a vent or dead. And
Yeah,
if
yeah.
the vaccines get that done, they're doing their job.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well, Alta, I'm so grateful that you've come on our show and you've taken the time to answer these questions. I know you're very busy, so to get you has been a great honor, and thank you for helping clarify and motivating that these South African vaccines that are in place are sound and that we can put our confidence in them. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, register tomorrow. No,
Oh,
15th. And go get yourself registered.
yes, yes, definitely, definitely. Thank you, Alta.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, thanks.